True life and music history. The Ants Human Stars podcast. With your hosts, Caleb and Digo. Are you ready? Steady. Go. I feel like, 90% of the straight men's problems with women, I'm like, if only you were gay.
Right. Well, see, that's a whole nother thing we have to talk about. I have issue with this idea. I'm gonna make this fast. I have this issue with this idea of like that women are so much different than men and men are so much different than women. I think men are just as emotional as women. Some women aren't emotional the way men are. Like, we're actually not that different. This whole idea of like, oh, well, men do this and women think like this. And I'm like, no, exactly. We're perpetuating this mindset.
Because those that are, unfortunately, straight are caught up in that world. It is hard to step out of it. Yeah. Because everything, like you said, everything
is so boxed in like, oh, we're different and you're this and and I'm that. Right. Yeah. Exactly. I never thought about it that way. But yeah, when you're liking the same sex, you're able to see that, it's like, oh, these traits aren't male traits or female traits. It's just, we're human. We all want to be loved. We want to eat good food. We want to get some sleep.
Good sex.
Good sex.
We all want that. Sex. There's no such thing as like, oh, men are the only one who wants sex. Like,
no, we all want it.
Good sex. Anyway, I'm hot now.
I'm hot too. I had to open up my window. I'm hot too. I'm burning.
I mean, I am drinking Rioja from Spain, but it got it here in Costa Rica. It is a bottle that I usually get in Spain, actually.
Is it a red or white?
It is a red, and I'm feeling a little hot, but I'm not drinking too much. It is only 3:00.
But all right, I'm going to be highlighting a young woman who did some very impressive things in a very short lifetime. So, you ready?
Go. All right. Amelia Earhart.
No. Y'all didn't know she wasn't just flying planes. She was singing. So, no.
It's what took her plane down.
Exactly. She wasn't.
That plane was like,
no. She wasn't paying
attention. Singer, girl.
Exactly. She wasn't paying attention. She was trying to hit that note. And it was like, no. Okay, let me not. That's not funny. Okay, let me stop. So, in 1999, Aaliyah landed her first movie role for the film Romeo Must Die. By that year, and at only the age of 20, Aaliyah had already solidified herself as a star on the rise and one to watch. She had released 2 multi-platinum albums along with multiple hit singles, including Back and Forth, One in a Million, and Are You That Somebody? And the previous year, her song Journey to the Past, that she recorded for her movie, not her movie, but for the movie Anastasia, it had been nominated for an Oscar. And though the song lost to Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On because the Titanic won everything that year, Aaliyah made history at the time by becoming the youngest person ever to perform at the Oscars award show. So not only was she ending the decade and the close of a century with plenty of star power behind her, Aaliyah was gearing up to kick off the new millennium with a bang. So, on February 22nd, 2000, the song Try Again was released as the lead single from the soundtrack to the movie Romeo Must Die. The song debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 chart on the week of March 18th at number 58, and the movie itself was released on the 22nd of that same month. Aaliyah recorded the song at Sound on Sound Studios in New York City. It was written by Static Major and Timbaland, both of whom had worked with Aaliyah in the past. The engineer, Jimmy Douglas, who engineered that session for the song Try Again, is quoted as saying, "Try Again was originally written to inspire young people. Barry Hankerson, he was a president of Blackground Records, that's the record company Aaliyah was under, he heard it and told them it's got to be about love. He goes on to say the melody and the hook were the same, so Static changed the lyrics and it became a love song. And so he changed the lyrics to the verses. He kept the chorus, which was still this uplifting anthem of Try Again. So during the week of June 17, 2000, Try Again reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it made history in the process by becoming the first song to reach the top spot based solely on radio airplay. So that song was being played so much that all the other singles at the time are being bought and stuff, but it was like radio. The song was dominating radio that it made its way to #1. And it's just, that's huge.
Now, as you probably already guessed, I can't listen. I can't picture the song, but I can't like picture it in my head.
Uh-huh.
And so
you better listen to it real quick. Without a dope beat, step 2. So that's why I made that joke. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Oh, this song was about that Romeo Must Die?
Yeah, it was.
I had no idea
you didn't know
that this song was in the Romeo Must Die.
Yeah, that was like the lead single. Yeah, of the movie.
I don't know if I saw that movie. It was like Jet Li.
It was Jet Li.
Oh, Jet Li. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cool. I mean, it's like, it was cool. It was better than
Queen of the Romeo and Juliet.
So yes, the movie. Sure. Yeah, the movie was like a play off of Romeo and Juliet. Aaliyah and Jet Li are from like warring families. Like, I don't know what they were dealing. I don't know what it was, but from like warring families, and then they, kind of have a little love story. They kind of fall for each other, but their families are like clashing. So it's like, stop hanging out with him, stop hanging out with her. But it's like, we love each other. That's an interracial love. That's what I'm talking about.
But see, the Loving versus Virginia wasn't in place yet.
Exactly.
Like whenever this. No, I mean like, but I assume this also. Oh, is this not like a time?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. It's not a time.
It's like a modern.
This is the movie was made.
Okay.
It came out in 2000. Like it was 2000 when in the movie.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the video for the song was just as iconic as the song itself. Aaliyah danced effortlessly across slightly raised platforms in a dim-lit room of shallow water and a small circle of light in the center. Anybody who's seen the video, the video was like, I love it. The video won her 2 Moon Men trophies at the MTV Video Music Awards that year, one for Best Female Video and the other for Best Video from a Film. And you can totally go see that on YouTube and watch Ricky Martin butcher her name. He called her Aaliyah instead of Aaliyah. It's okay.
Aaliyah.
He was like, and the winner is Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
Try again. But it's okay. We
it's better than
love you, Ricky. Who? Oh yeah, the guy who butchered John Travolta. What you talking about? That's what you're talking about when he butchered?
No. I'm talking about He's a Kings of Comedy. He's got a show like
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey and the American
Miss America thing. Yeah.
Miss America thing. Yeah.
Wait, did he butcher the name or did he call the wrong name?
He called the wrong name.
Oh,
he was like, but I think like to his defense, I think it was like confusing on the cards or something. Like to me, the fact that he was able to call out a different name means something went wrong with the cards. Like it should just be like, open the card, there's the name. No confusion.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No confusion.
It's like the Oscars that year.
You just open it and say a name.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. So the song was also nominated for a Grammy the following year for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. And yeah, it was Aaliyah's first and only #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. So she tragically died in a plane crash.
This dimension.
What?
In a separate dimension where Aaliyah didn't die.
Oh yes,
and
she had multiple.
Yes,
she had like multiple #1s.
Like crazy
She's
right
killing
now.
it. Exactly. She would have been in the Matrix. She was supposed to be in the Matrix. So yeah, she would have.
Instead of what's her face?
No, not it. She played I don't know what the girl's name is, but like at the end of like the third movie, there's like the black girl who like runs up and she shoots some bomb off.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't mean like the first.
Not
that's what I
Jada's.
meant. I meant
Not
Jada.
Yeah, no, not Jada.
Oh, okay.
Not Jada's girl. It was a different girl, but it was significant. But yeah, so she passed away in a plane crash, August 25th, 2001. She was only 22.
Where?
In the Bahamas. And yeah, cutting short a meteoric rise that was well on its way. But her accomplishments in that short time are what some could only dream of. So to many, Try Again is Aaliyah's best song. Amy McElden, an editor at Harper's Bazaar, is quoted as saying, lyrically, the song is an anthem about never giving up, whether it be in a relationship or life. The main message of the chorus is totally inspirational, with Aaliyah singing, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. It's the perfect song to listen to when you feel like there's no hope left or you're not quite sure what to do next. Without being pushy, Try Again is a reminder that however many times you get knocked down, it's time to get back up again. She goes on to say, the verses in Try Again focus on a relationship and are all about how to approach something new and unexpected. Aaliyah sings, you know our chemistry is off the chain, it's perfect now, but will it change? Instead of a typical pop song, expecting a relationship to be the perfect love story, Aaliyah interrogates those initial romantic feelings you get in a relationship and is realistic about them. She makes the song so empowering and a total feminist anthem. Aaliyah refuses to give any guarantees or play an expected romantic role. When she sings, this ain't a yes, this ain't a no, just do your thing and we'll see how it goes, it perfectly sums up the way a strong woman can approach a relationship by not getting carried away as fairy tale narratives or stereotypical pop songs might suggest. So I thought that was a really nice breakdown of that song. I never heard it I never thought of it that way. Like, I always thought of the inspirational side, but yeah, the fact that she's like basically saying like, I'm not just going to give everything to you right away. Like, you might have to work for this.
Got to work for this, Aaliyah.
And not only work for it, but just like, don't give
Aaliyah.
up. Exactly. Aaliyah. So Aaliyah's legacy in the song itself lives on in the hearts and speakers of fans all over the world and will forever be an anthem of perseverance. And so one thing, I remember when this song came out and being like 10 years old and hearing it. I remember watching the movie at my cousin's house. It was like me, my sister, and my cousin who was like 2 years older than me. It was just like us at her house. And I was just hungry for... I was a kid and I was hungry for just music and artists and just all of that. So she was like, oh yeah, my dad bought the Romeo Must Die movie. Like, you want to watch it? I'm like, yes. And so I'm like sitting in the living room by myself watching it because my sister didn't care and my older cousin, she didn't care. So I watched the movie and I heard the song, and it was interesting when I heard that, because I found out several years ago how this song was originally meant to be like an inspirational, uplifting song, but then Barry Hankerson was like, no, it needs to be a love song, it needs to be a relationship song. Because as a kid, that's what I took it as. As like my 10-year-old, 11-year-old self, it was like, that was my anthem of like, okay, we sucked today at school, but we're going to get better tomorrow. Like, try again, try again, try again. I remember telling a teacher, it was like some question about like, what is... I don't know, something that keeps you going or something. And I said this song. I was like, this song by Aaliyah is really like, it helps me keep going, blah, blah, blah. And I wish I could tell her or Static, because Static, the guy who wrote the song, he also passed away several years ago. And it's like, I'd love to be able to tell them that like, your intention of the song was received, even though...
Oh, you mean Aaliyah? I thought you were telling like, I wish I could tell my teacher off that.
No. No, I'm saying I wish I could tell Aaliyah and the guy Static Major who wrote the song, because it was his idea that he wanted it, to be like an uplifting, like encouraging anthem for young people. And yeah, I'd love to be able to just tell them that like, even though the verses were changed, so it sounds more, so it's seen more as a relationship song. To my 10, 11-year-old self, the message was still received of like, this uplifting. This is my like my push through song of try again. And so, but I also think that goes to show that, how do you say it? Like, intent still gets through. Like, if like his intent was to be helpful and encouraging, and me as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, not thinking deep about anything at all.
I mean,
like,
honestly,
I got it.
I'm in the camp that lyrics, for me personally, lyrics are the most meaningless parts of the song. Personally, what they mean. It's how they're sung. It's the instruments. It's the melody. Everything. That's what makes a song for me. And the actual context, the actual what is being said in those words. Sometimes I don't even know what's being said. I just feel like this song is saying this, and I have no idea what the lyrics are. I couldn't tell you.
And I do agree that the music has to match. You can't just have great. You can have great lyrics, but if you just put them to some whack little melody, they're never gonna. It's never gonna be felt the way it was intended. So I do. Yeah, it has to have the music has to be lined up with the lyrics. But I just the thing is, when I found that out, like I said several years ago, it was like well, that's cool because I still got the original intent. It was encouraging for me, even though they had to change the song because they thought it wouldn't be a big hit, which is silly, man. It's silly whenever it's just silly. But
marketing people, people get wrapped up in their world. They're like, if we don't put in this comma,
exactly. Yeah. But I thought it was cool, and I wanted to highlight her one because this year marks the 20th anniversary of that song. Because that's crazy. It's 2020. 2000 was 20 years ago. That's scary.
I know.
And then just as a woman, a black woman, a young black woman, she accomplished a lot in only 2 years and did some making history along the way with the Oscars and then even with her hits and stuff. And so I thought it'd be cool. I have that record on my wall right there.
Oh, snap.
So that is a little of the history. Well, really all the history. I admit it wasn't that much, but that's the history behind "Try Again" by Aaliyah. Exactly.
History.
yes. I'm giving you everything.
Where's Aaliyah from?
She is from Detroit. Yeah, she is from Detroit. Yeah. I was a big Aaliyah fan. My 10-year-old, 11-year-old self was crushed. Walmart used to have this poster of her, like after she died, like because Walmart, even they still sell posters, but I would always go over to the little poster section and I would just stare at it and be like, oh, I want this so bad, but I have no money. And my mom was not about to let me get basically like she was fully clothed, but
she like regrets that
right, exactly. He wanted women. I was exactly. Then I was like, you know what? Fine. You can't have Aaliyah put up all these Allen Iverson posters. Men. No. But no. She was just like beautiful in the picture. I wanted the poster, but I've always thought she was like super cool. And then it's always interesting to me, and my sister kind of makes fun of me, but we always talk about it, how the older I get, the more I realize like she was so young. At the time, I'm 11 years old, and so anybody older than me, I'm like, oh, you're 30, 40.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you've lived.
You're dust.
well, not so much that, but just like, it's just like, oh, you've lived life. Like, you're fine. You're whatever. And then, and now, I'm almost 30, and it's just like, dang, like, you're 22?
Flying around.
I hadn't even
award shows.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. On one hand, it's like, wow, you did so much at 22. But then I think of my own life, and I'm like, I had done nothing. Like, I was just getting started at 22, and didn't know anything. Was still naive, like figuring out life and learning, and so it's and then I watch interviews now, and she was very mature to be 22. You listen to her speak.
But I will say, I mean, how about when we get famous?
Exactly. Yes.
I am grateful for the years of my life that I wasn't.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to be. Yes, I would have, of course, wanted to be famous in my 20s and teens even.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? It would be great, right?
I wanted to be the Jonas Brothers.
It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't. Not for your psyche.
Oh, yeah.
Not for friendship building. Not for any of that. Like, it wouldn't have been good. I'm not like, trying to cut down, all these famous celebrities that are young and famous.
I think some people just can do it. Like some people are able to do it, and they come out saying there's as many bad as many I don't know if bad's the right adjective, but as many like horror stories that you hear. There are plenty of people who kept it together and are fine. So I do think, some people they're just okay. But I have had to come to terms with that realization with myself that, like, as much as I wanted it then, I'm glad it didn't happen, because I would have been a mess.
You would have been a completely different person.
Yeah.
Also, not able to like right now, if you got famous, you appreciate the hell out of that shit. Every person comes up to you, be like, "Oh my God, can I get your autograph?" Is like a golden nugget.
Yeah.
It would be for all time. Like I would never like be able to live that down. A person like wants my attention.
Yeah, or a picture with me or something. Yeah.
Right. Just a selfie or something. I'll be like, I words can't describe how much this is going to be amazing if and when this happens. Every time I'm going to be that person, be like, yeah, let's do it. What do you want? What do you you want me to fill in the blank, or do you want?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Aaliyah. By the way, I think back on how we watched that movie.
Oh, Queen of the Dam.
Like it wasn't that good, but it was like it was such a special like New York moment.
Yeah,
like,
it's a part of that. Yeah, it's a part of that. Yes, yes.
Yep.
I agree. Good times.
Cool. Shout out to Taiwan.
Yes,
to Taiwan.
Yes. Thanks for listening to the Ants, Human Stars podcast with Caleb and Digo. Stay connected and get updates about new episodes by visiting our website, antshumanstars.com, and by subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a positive rating and review, and share about us with your community on social media. Thanks, y'all. We really appreciate it.